What is up, everybody? It's Nick from Mining Office, and today we got another package in from AAAWave. They provide another solution to a problem I have. If you guys look in the rig behind here, you know I'm running the 3070 just kind of on its own here in a second 6 GPU Veddha frame. Well, I've got a 8 to 10 GPU frame here and some other goodies provided by them. I want to give a few shout outs before we start the video to two YouTubers that I think really don't have enough subscribers and produce really great content. First one is DJ Mines. Second one is Black Bear Crypto. So I'll leave the links to both of those channels in the description. Check them out and subscribe to their channel. They're really awesome and underrated. Okay, so for the unboxing, I think I'm going to switch back to POV just for the sound quality. But first, I just wanted to show you what I was talking about. So this card is kind of running solo in this frame, and I'm using a AAAWave 4-to-1 splitter down there. And you can see the riser cable, the blue riser cable there, connecting this card to the motherboard down there. So this motherboard is running 7 cards right now, 6 down there, 1 up here, and that's not very efficient in terms of space. Ideally, once I get all this in one rig, I can readjust this rack to be the proper spacings and fit this rig and the new rig in there. So we'll see about that in a future video, but first to get to the unboxing, guys. All right, so let's get the small things out of the way first. In here we have the Titanium Micro PD560. So this is a 500 gigabyte SSD, and this actually works out perfectly because next time I build a rig, I've gotten requests from so many people to try HiveOS. Like everybody in every video always comments, what about HiveOS? So next rig will definitely be utilizing this SSD, and I'm going to be putting HiveOS on it. Everybody will be happy, so that's really nice. And in here we have some splitters, it looks like. Let's see. Single female 6-pin to dual male 6+2 pin PCIe cable with braided sleeve. So if these are 6-pin inputs, that means you can use these with server power supply cables. So something like this will normally be 6-pin on one end to a 6+2 pin on the other end. So in that case, you just take the 6-pin of the other end and just connect it to this, and off you go. So that's pretty much what I've done with this rig. You can see there's a splitter here, right? The splitter takes in a 6-pin, so I just have an extra 2-pin here dangling, and yeah. So I just wanted to take one out to check the gauge on this cable, and it's written on here 18 gauge. So good to know. I'm gonna clear out all this stuff here, and we'll get to the main item. And here we have it, the Dredge II 10 GPU mining frame. So I'm gonna get this guy cut open, get all the pieces out of it, the parts, and take a look at the instruction manual, and hopefully it won't be that hard to build. I don't think the assembly of this is gonna be very hard. There's the base, the fan hub we'll call it, both of the sides, again the strip, the GPU mounting side, and the support bracket for your risers, right? Or below the GPU, whatever. You get your little pack here of accessories and the instruction manual. I know somebody else who enjoys the package I got. So it's the next day. I'm gonna go through the instructions and tell you guys when I'm done how long it takes for me to build this Dredge II frame. And there we go, we're done. That took about 15 minutes and was honestly pretty easy to build. I'll give you guys the same tip as last time. When you build this, put all the pieces in first before tightening down everything, snug. That way you won't have any problems fitting anything in, and everything will be nice, straight, and aligned at the end. So yeah, quick little tip there. Really nice. You guys can see right away, one of the main features I really like with this frame is that it has an extensive amount of holes drilled in here for your screws for your GPU mounts. So depending if you want 6 cards, 7, 8, 9, 10, you can space them differently, right? So at least having that option in this frame and that versatility is really, really good compared to something like the Veddha frame where you really don't have the choice. It's 6 cards and that's it. Number 2 is obviously, look, you have all these extra fan holes on the side. If I'm being honest, I'm not 100% sure it's going to be useful to fill all 13 fans in here. However, these 5 for sure will be good to fill. And what I think I might want to do is put at least 2 fans, so one on this side down here and one on the other side, but the lower level. And what I think is, we're comparing to this build here, where you have the server power supply at the bottom. These server PSUs get quite hot, and then the heat just rises and heat soaks into these cards. And if I look at the temps, you can really tell these 2 cards are hotter because they're above the server PSU. So that definitely makes a difference. And what I think I'll do is have these fans intake air, and then at the bottom here, have the fans exhausting air out. So whatever air is normally stagnant there from the server PSUs and being sucked up by the cards will at least be evacuated by the sides and leave room for natural air to come in here just through suction. You might notice too, I left 2 foam pads underneath of it. That's because this is actually quite sharp underneath, and there's no feet like on the other frame. So I don't really want to scratch up my floor here. I'm gonna put this under, and I put in the standoffs as well. And there's the power button here. This I actually really like, because on this frame, like, I just have it dangling over there. You see it in the back. And to have a dedicated spot for it like this, a nice toggle button, I think is really cool. And it's not very far to where it's going to be on the motherboard. So good placement as well. You also have the choice to put it on the other side, but it's more practical there. And I think that's about it for the overview. I'll start building it. I have to take off the fans, the PSUs, the motherboard, all the cards, and decide on my spacing here. I already have a good idea of what I want to do, and hopefully everything just boosts up like a charm once I'm done. So yeah, let me get to it, guys. It's finally up and running, but if you guys saw any of the shorts, you know, it was not straightforward. So the other motherboard died. If you want to know that story, just check out the 2 shorts. And yeah, anyway, I had to replace it. Now I have it all up and running. That was a pain in the butt. I had a few days of downtime, but anyway, that's done and dusted. I now have this pretty messed up Veddha frame here. And this one, which is pretty much good to go. So next rig I'll have built in this for sure. But let's get back to this 10 GPU frame. I'm really happy with it, so let's dig into a few of the juicy details here. First thing I want to mention is that all the screws to build this, the same as the Sluice frame, are all just the normal, you know, PC power supply type screws, okay? So really easy to work with and makes it really quick and easy to assemble. The next thing you'll notice is I did not mount these in the proper location. Normally you would put them inside. However, because of this Asus Tough card, which is just absolutely massive, you can see there's already not much space. And yeah, these fans would not have fit inside. So I took this off. I mounted all the fans from the inside here to have them on the outside. And I could always put, let me show you guys, these grills on here if I wanted to, but I don't really feel the need to now. Disclaimer, the cable management is horrible. I just wanted to get my stuff up and running as soon as possible. So yeah, feel free to make fun, but there was no way I was gonna spend extra time doing cable management. All my cards fit in very well with the fans on this side, so I think that's a good choice. And I have yet to mount a fan here, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. Have a fan here and exhaust the hot air that's coming off this server PSU. There's a nice mounting bracket there for the ATX PSU. It fits right in really nicely. And I just laid the server PSU here, like I said, on a dust filter from an old computer case I had. I didn't really want to rest it right on the metal, so that was my solution for this. Yeah, and you can see too, a few stickers I threw on here, courtesy of crypty.co. So thanks for that, really cool. And yeah, so on this side, there's no room for the fans really, there's no point. I use it more as cable management holes for the very small amount of cable management that I actually did do. If we get to the back side of this, you'll notice there are also more holes to mount fans here. So you can mount an additional 5 on this side as exhaust fans, I guess. I don't really feel the need to do it now. It's really sufficient. But let me tell you something. When I first started this rig without any fans on it, the temperatures of my cards were going insane compared to when these fans were running. So for people who, you know, don't really think that case fans make a difference, I think I already showed it with this frame. But especially with high-powered cards that are running Ravencoin, really important to have extra airflow. If you don't have fans like this, you have to put a box fan or something in front. I mean, you don't have to, but unless you want to run your fans 100% all the time, really necessary to have fans. I'm pretty sure these are just holes in case you want to put your power supplies there. But I use them as cable management holes, so that works really well for plugging in the SSD here, which is mounted, and a few power supply cables that route underneath. And if we return to the backside, probably my favorite feature of this whole frame, guys, is the fact that you have all these possibilities for mounting. So right now I have 7 GPUs running in here. That's really why I wanted this frame. The Veddha frame was only 6. So yeah, I was able to basically save all this space up here, which is really nice. And you'll notice the spacing is not equal. So what I did is all my lower powered cards, meaning the 3060 Ti's and 3070s here, are all spaced with 2. And what I did is for the 3070 Ti, which runs a bit hotter, I left extra space here on the side to give it a little more breathing room. And if I go over to the 3080, you'll see I did the same thing. So on this side, I left 3 spacings to make sure that 3080 is nice and cool. And same thing, even an extra one on this side. So when you're not filling it up with 10 GPUs, you can get decent spacing with all your cards. Now, if you are running 10 GPUs in this frame, especially big 30 series cards, I don't think you'll have enough spacing. I mean, they're gonna be really tight together. And yeah, you're gonna need to run your fans pretty high. 2 last things I want to show quickly. One is that it's stackable. You'll notice this, it's so you can stack them one on top of another. So that makes it really practical if you have or want to put a lot of GPUs in a small place, kind of like I have. You know, it can save you from spending on a rack like this. So that's another positive. Apart from the things I mentioned previously, one other negative thing is that these edges here can be quite sharp. Now, I took it from here a few times when I was lifting it and all that. However, don't slide your hand on it. I think you'll probably cut yourself. It is sheet metal. I would say I definitely prefer the finish on the Sluice one. That's a slight downside of this frame, but except for that, overall, I really, really like it. There's a lot of room too to manage your stuff down here. Like you'll see it's a mess, but there is room. And I'm gonna give you guys a little tip if ever you were thinking of picking one of these up. Number 1, I got a coupon code. That's AAAMO20 for $20 off. And also, if you remember correctly, they sent me this SSD as well. Well, on their website, they have a bundle for this frame and this SSD, and it ends up being a pretty good deal. So let me show you guys that. So you can see normally the frame is 170 bucks, but there is also a special bundle with that SSD I also received, and it's only $5 more. Only $5 more for a 500 gig SSD. So again, I get nothing from this, guys. It's all for you. But if I would be buying this frame, this is what I would be going for. So yeah, pretty good opportunity. If you're building a rig, you're gonna need an SSD anyway. So I would say to definitely go for this. So some closing thoughts here. If I'm comparing the Dredge to the Sluice frame, I'm actually not sure which one I prefer best. Look, if I would have to pick, I think I would prefer this frame, but I might only build it to like 6 or 8 GPUs, depending on the type I have. So for 1660 Supers, I would definitely go for this, but maybe for 30 series cards on Ravencoin, I might go for the Dredge frame actually. I would have to think about it, but yeah, both good products, both good frames. Again, if you guys are thinking about it, I have a coupon code for both. It'll be in the description. If not, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was really a pain in the butt. So please, if you can, just leave a like and think about subscribing maybe. I'm going to try and bring you guys some more great content as soon as I can. This was a slight setback, so it took me much longer than it would normally to get this video out. But hopefully things should be back on track now. So have a great day, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.